Hello, I'm Liz Zorab and this is Byther Farm, and today I'm sorting out my perennial beans. Now I'm calling them perennial because last year when the run of beans were finished, I just cut them off pretty much at ground level and left all the roots in there to rot down and for the nitrogen fixing modules to allow the nitrogen to go into the soil. And this year in spring, those plants started growing again. And indeed they have grown really nicely in the cabbage tunnel. They flowered, and because some insects have got into that tunnel, we've actually had beans, and so they've done the full cycle. I made a video wondering whether we could grow perennial beans or not, and if you haven't seen that, I'll leave a link to that there. So this year I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut the beans off, just leaving a short amount of stem, and then I'm going to cover that with a mulch to protect it for the winter, and also hopefully the mulch will kill off some of the weeds in this bed. And then hopefully next spring these will all grow again and we will have perennial beans. And the thing that I've noticed about the ones in the cabbage tunnel is they haven't just come up with one or two shoots, they've actually come up with several. So the plants seem to be getting a little bit bigger each year, as you might expect. So I'm quite excited about that. These are my poor old beans that have been absolutely battered by the wind. Yesterday evening I started unwinding them from their canes, and all the beans are going into the house for me to take them out of their pods, and all the tops are going into a compost heap. Now I'm actually making a new compost heap with these, simply because my last one is almost full. So I'm layering the leaves and the stems from the beans with some wood chippings, and then I'll also pop in a bit of duck bedding, and so I'm going to be making layers. I'll keep it moist, and hopefully we can get a compost heap going pretty quickly. One of the difficult things about these is all the canes are still tied together. So once I've cut it at the bottom, I'll have to find a way of loosening it at the top, or I'll have to loosen them at the top and then find out where the cane is going into the ground and cut them off there. So I think, there we go, I've loosened that one. So basically I'm holding it up, having a look to see if there are any more beans to take off the vine, and I think there's just one there. And then this comes through to my compost heap. Oh, and there's one here. So if I hold the cane upside down, because it's thinner at the top, the plant comes off it pretty easily. That would make most sense to shred this up. I'm actually just putting it in as it is. It does mean that the stems take a little longer to break down, but they get there in the end. you're enjoying this video, please hit the thumbs up or leave a comment, or both. And if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to the channel. There'll be another video tomorrow, and I also hope you can join us for a live chat on Sunday. This is one of the supporting poles that I put in last week. After the first storm, but before the second and third. And well, it didn't do very well. It didn't do much supporting really. It looked pretty for a day or so, and then it failed to do its job after that. So I'll keep the baling twine. Every year I think this is going to be a really horrid job, and there's a bit of sadness in me in taking the bean canes down because it's, you know, the end of summer. But actually it's really nice when it's done because it just changes the look and the landscape, and it opens it all up, and so from the house we can see all the way down the garden, and there's something quite nice about just a tidying up job in some ways. And I'm not known for being the tidiest person in the world, but this, even though it's a tangly mess right now, it's quite nice when it's done. I'm really pleased to have got all the beans down today, so they've all been cut off, so the roots are still in there and a small amount of stem. The next thing I'm going to do is to lift out some of these weeds, and then I'm going to place cardboard around the run of bean stems and cover that with used chicken bedding and duck bedding to suppress the weeds for the winter. And then over the winter that cardboard and that bedding will break down. It will help feed the soil, it will help add some more organic matter into it. What a good day's work. Well, that's it for me today. I have got 2 huge bin linerfuls of beans now to take out of their pods and get processed. And so, wherever you are in the world and whatever you've got planned for today, I hope it's a good one. And I also hope you'll join me again tomorrow.